Hi there, and welcome to another one of my album reviews. My name is Christian Eschbach, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Avantasia. Never heard of them until like a year and a half ago when my girlfriend Tracy introduced me to them. It's specifically Tobias Sammet's Avantasia, and the album is The Scarecrow. Now, the reason why I have the book here out is I want to explain to you in Tobias Sammet's own words what the Scarecrow is, because it's a concept album, and I'm going to get into the musicians and stuff like that in a second, because there is a variety of vocalists throughout here and other musicians. But so what we have is once again, the album's called The Scarecrow, and The Scarecrow is a tragic story of a lonesome creature emotionally isolated from his environment and suffering from a distorted sensory perception. His feelings for the love of his life unrequited, he sets off on a journey exploring the left hand path, striving for inner peace, plowing his way to approval and eventually facing temptation at the inner depths of the human soul. Okay. So, concept album. Now, to me, the thing with a concept album is great if you really want to sit there and you want to invest the time and you want to invest the effort and you really want to get into it. And some concept albums are fantastic. Others kind of fall flat because the concept gets too much into the concept. It becomes more like a musical and it forgets about certain individual songs. The reality is the songs still have to stand up individually on their own. That's one of the things that I think makes Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare so great, is the song each song stands up on its own, even within the concept. Now, Tobias here, he put together a great album because the album is honestly, there's some songs where it's purely related to the concept, and then there's other songs where they're just fantastic songs. But the whole way around, it blends into a wonderful album. Now, let me get into the musicians and the cast of characters. I'm not going to tell you every person who plays what in this. Forget it. That's too much work and effort, really. And I'm a little lazy that way. But we've got Tobias Sammet, who honestly I've never heard of before, and there'll be something that pops up here that says bands that he's connected to. Sasha Paith. I know nothing about Sasha Paith, including whether or not that is a masculine, feminine, or androgynous use of the name. Now, Tobias does lead vocals and bass. Sasha is rhythm and lead guitars. And then filling out the core band is Eric Singer on drums. I know Eric Singer from Kiss and from Alice Cooper, but I know Eric Singer from Alice Cooper first, then later going to Kiss. Other guest vocalists on this album are Bob Catley, I don't know, Alice Cooper. You've seen the reviews, I've already done 3 at this point. Oliver Hartman, once again, I don't know. Roy Khan, once again, unfortunately I don't know. Michael Kiske, offhand, don't know. Jorn Land, once again, don't know. Amanda Somerville. That one sounds vaguely familiar, but I'm not sure where I know the name Amanda Somerville from. Then we go in, those are just the vocalists. Then we go into guest musicians. You got Kai Hansen for additional lead guitar, don't know. Henjo Richter, I'm not sure how to say that one, don't know. Michael Miro Rodenberg, who did keyboards and orchestration. Once again, sorry, don't know. And then Rudolf Schenker, additional lead guitar. I am going to double check here, but I am 99% positive that is legendary guitarist from the Scorpions, Rudolf Schenker. Now, all these people together put together this album, and this album is produced by Sasha and Tobias, all right? Production on this album is top notch. Everything is put together beautifully. It's done out. This is, if you like operatic kind of stuff, like if you like the rock operas, metal opera, stuff like that, you know, this is cool. Like, say you dig Tommy, all right? This is definitely musically not the same as Tommy, but if you can invest the time into something like Tommy to truly listen to it and pay attention to the story from beginning to end, you can listen to this because the different voices that go on there, as like with Tommy, where you know the different members of the band would do some of the different voices and the different characters and that, which lend to it, and that's what happens here. You know, all these different voices are lending different characters into here. But this album isn't just an album. Like I said, each individual song on its own can be quite good on its own. Like the album opens up with Twisted Mind. I think Twisted Mind is a fantastic song, highly singable, and I do every time it comes on. I actually thoroughly enjoy the song. It's a great start to the album. From there goes into the Scarecrow, the title track, you know, kind of helps set the mood, kind of get things going, whatnot. I blank on this song every single time. It goes through the song, and I don't realize it goes through the song until we get to the next song, and it's one of those ones where it works on the album, it's necessary for the album, but on its own, it's not a song really so much on its own. Shelter from the Rain, I think, is fantastic, and I find myself singing that one quite regularly too. Um, Not as much as a lot of the other ones, but it's still a very good song. After that is Carry Me Over. Carry Me Over, the chorus, while being a little repetitive, is still really good. It's got that great metal, operatic, power metal kind of sound. Carry me over, carry me over. And it just, you know, just kind of real up there and, you know, just beautiful. Um, what Kind of Love kind of gets a little lost for me in there. It's a good tune, but once again, it's a little more stuck into the album. Another Angel Down is fantastic, but when you sing the song and you really get into it and you're really singing it, if you don't look at the album cover, you wouldn't realize the song is called Another Angel Down. I don't know what I would have thought it was called based on this, you know, singing the song. But it really is a very singable song. It's a very good song. It's very enjoyable on all levels. Another album I'd liken this to, kind of in a way, is kind of Christopher Spanish Train and Other Stories, just with the way it's kind of presented with the storytelling and the music. The music plays as much to the storytelling as the telling the story through the lyrics does. You know, some songs, like What Kind of Love, the music is kind of atypical power metal. And the reason why I say that is that's going to come up again shortly. Now, after Another Angel Down, we get to The Toy Master. The Toy Master is where Alice Cooper pops up. Obviously, I love the song. It's an Alice Cooper song, right? Alice is there singing. Alice is there to do what Alice does. Alice is there to lend the style of vocals that Alice does, to lend the kind of character that Alice Cooper is. Instead of being the typical, you know, monster of nightmares, in this case, he's more of the toy master. Fantastic part in this album. It works fantastic in this album. It'd even be a fun song to release as a single for Alice Cooper purposes, just for fun. But it's not a song that's necessarily going to ever get a traction on the radio or whatnot. There's too much story or complexity involved in this song. At least not in North America. From there, we go to Devil in the Belfry, cliche and boring, and it's the one song on the album I will say I really don't care for. It does nothing for me at all. Cry Just a Little, pretty good. You know, it's a solid song for the album. Um, I Don't Believe in Your Love is a really great song as well. Not That one's not stuck in the album so much, but it is very much a power metal song. So to me, it depends on where you feel kind of in that whole power metal kind of vibe. And then the album ends with Lost in Space. Lost in Space is fantastic. I love this tune. It really captivates a certain. This album has a feel kind of the whole way through, but when you get to Lost in Space, it not only captivates and captures the music and the lyrics together as one entity, but it really kind of transcends the whole album because it takes a whole different kind of out there approach compared to the rest of the album musically, I think. The idea of Lost in Space, it has kind of that typical Lost in Space kind of vibe and feel that you might think would come from a song, titled like that. Not to say that it sounds like cheesy sci-fi stuff, but it really is sci-fi-ish compared to the rest of the album, which is more fantastical almost, I want to say. Like if you want a music analogy, it's like going from Zeppelin 4 and putting Trampled Underfoot as a tag note at the end of the album. Great song, works. And in the whole mix, it works. In the whole story, it works. Like the whole way around, this is a fantastic concept album. Everything about it works. The biggest detraction for me from this album is I'm not a huge power metal fan, especially when the vocals are a little cliche, and Tobias as the main vocalist throughout the album is a very standard power metal kind of vocalist. His voice doesn't stand out at all. That's why I like the guest vocalists that are on here. It adds more depth, it adds more dynamic. It really allows the album to shine in more ways than it could if just one vocalist was trying to do the entire album. If you like power metal, totally check this out. If you like any type of concept album, if you like a really good, true concept album, this is really good. If you like European sounding metal or European-esque music, and the reason why I say European is it tends to be a little more diverse, a little more intricate, we'll say, with a little more storytelling. And when I say storytelling, I don't mean simplistic storytelling. I mean you actually have to pay attention storytelling. Really, it's worth checking out. It's really cool, and I'm really glad that, thanks to my girlfriend Tracy, I've gotten to listen to this album. I've gotten to grow an appreciation for it. I've listened to other Avantasia. I'm still kind of breaking in on them. I've listened to this particular album at this point now, a good 12 to 15 times, trying to get a really good feel for the album before I decide to do a review. And, I'm going to have to do the same thing with every one of their albums and a lot of those other albums, because Tracy brings a lot of albums that I didn't have before into my collection to now do a review. And so, from there, I'm going to say, check it out. If you want to check out something different, check out Avantasia's The Scarecrow. It's a good album. It's a cool album. Something different. Until next time, love y'all. Peace and take care. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe thing for notifications, and feel free to leave a comment. If you have an Avantasia album you'd like to recommend that I look at for the next review, recommend it to me, and then I'll start putting some time in to listen to it. Take care.